Hey, it's your boy Lock Zero, and I'm here with.
It's your main man Rev. How's it going, guys?
And we are here to bring you the latest and greatest in the One Piece verse.
Yeah, we got that fresh, hot pirate action off the presses, and I'm ready to go. Let's go. Chapter 1025.
I appreciate your enthusiasm. Yeah, man. Before we get into this chapter, please hit that like and subscribe. Greatly appreciate that.
And be sure to follow us on our new Instagram page. We got more content coming on there shortly. Journey to Laugh Tale. Stuff will be dropping there soon. Follow there.
Word, son. Alright, and with that being said, let's get into it. Chapter 1025, Double Dragons. I know
it reads Twin Dragons for me.
Yeah, I know. I like to just, it puts in my mind Double Dragons. I don't know if you remember Double Dragons, but
I don't think it strikes a bell for me. Sorry, but I like the the cover page we have here. Captain Usopp, regaling these octopus and birds with tales of his grand adventures, giving us big Nolan vibes, right? Or fake Nolan vibes, right? The Great Adventure.
Not for nothing, I'm not hating on his look right there, looking a little clean,
The drip is real with Usopp in this cover page. So, and got a smoking octopus in the back. He's just railing off the tails as it goings with Big Liar story coming off. So if they believe it or not, the birds clearly do, and I like this cover page a lot. It's really cool.
It's fun. It's fun. I really haven't cared too much about the cover arts whatsoever, but this is a fun one.
It's pretty cool.
But yeah, let's get into it. We got the first page here, and it starts off, Luffy screaming at Momo. So this is how they kick off the chapter, initiating the transition from Momo going from ground to the top of Onigashima, and he is scared. He's a grown up, he's still struggling with his inner turmoil and fear of heights. So yeah, and we cut to the top of the live floor, and we're back in the Kaido versus Yamato fight. We have a move called Mirror Mountain, aka Mirror Coat. She is secretly a Wobbuffet. And I'm not quite 100% sure with this. Like, was she wearing it? I guess
it looks like ice armor. That's what I was thinking. It was like full body shield to protect against the attack. I don't know how effective it was. I guess she lived to fight another moment, so pretty good, right?
I get in the end of the last chapter, it ended with them like doing a Thunder Bagua on each other, right? Like crossing paths. So I guess this is like the result of that, and this is what she used to blunt the force of that Thunder Bagua.
So what we see here with her spinning attack on Kaido, not letting it a moment up. And she actually manages to get a hit on Kaido. And that's impressive, I would say, just because Kaido's speed. We've already determined he's a pretty fast guy, and powerful. Not just powerful. So to me, this is like, okay, so Yamato, definitely hella impressive. Being able to land a blow on him, as he sees it coming. So, and it knocks him immediately to the ground. He gets back up, but still impressive that manages to hit him.
They've been beating the shit out of him, and you see these like hard attacks, and it's like, oh man, that was a significant attack, and then he just gets up, and it's like, so anyway, when I was at the grocery store,
haven't hit me hard enough for a flashback yet, but you guys keep trying. You keep trying. So he's not mocking her, but talking down on her as he's pressing his attack on her, and talking about how she's all alone.
Criticizing her.
Yeah, talking about how she's all alone, no one cares about her, the samurai of Wano weren't there for her, and she's just trying to ignore it, fight back, and we see her flashing back on her own memories about her hard times growing up, and being alone, and believing that she actually did have friends. She sees Ace in the flashback there, and obviously recalling the samurai who were helpful to her while she was starving to death as a 5-year-old. Great job, Kaido.
Kaido talking mad shit, just gaslighting her, like, you didn't have friends, and he's like, I did have friends, but you fucking killed them, so, it's not like I don't have friends because they didn't like me, it's because, you wouldn't let that scenario play itself out, so, But yeah, people were punished for assisting her, and Kaido smashes her into the ground, and then we get a bit of a reveal here, or what is potentially a reveal. Saying you're the child of ogres, and some people are kind of like up in the air, like, oh, it might be metaphorical, not necessarily like it's an actual race in the One Piece world, like an ogre race or an oni race. It's just like he's just this beast of a man, But then he also makes the point to notate, like,
you're not to be friends with humans.
Yeah, exactly. So he
Kaido
thinks of himself differently.
Kaido doesn't strike. Yeah, he doesn't strike me as human, anyways. With the freaking horns coming out, and I don't think it's anything to do with the dragon powers. Honestly, I don't think it's anything to do with that, because Yamato also has horns, and she is not a dragon.
Yeah, but there's other people who have horns too, like Moria.
But she had horns when she was a 5-year-old. I don't know. I don't.
Moria had horns. Caesar Clown had horns, and you can make the argument maybe. Actually, no. He had that before he met Law, so it wasn't a transplant from Law. But there's been people with horns throughout the series, and just like Oda's been like, I don't know, some people have horns. Get over it.
Moria doesn't strike me as humanist either. To be honest. So
he's part of the Snake Neck tribe of people. He's Snake Neck. That's where he's
a snake. He's a snake. But
one of Big Mom's kids are Snake Neck. It's an actual listed race of people in the One Piece world. But yeah, he looks. I just want to say really quick before we move on. He looks super awesome in that last panel. Like, this is your fate. He's just being like super beast mode, kind of like
beating the shit out of her. Holy fuck.
Yeah, super brutal. It reminds me of Katakuri when he smashed down Luffy when he was in Gear 4 with that Spike Moshi Club thing, and then like they have a silhouette with the glowing two like dots for glowing eyes. I don't know if you remember that. But,
no, I do, but because that was just a crazy fight. But and side note, Katakuri won that fight. Anyways, but yeah, crazy sick beastly moment of Kaido just smashing Yamato into the ground. Really trying hard for that Father of the Year award again. And next page we get a flash of Momo going into the battle, and he's flying, and it looks like he's flying with his eyes closed. And this should be hilarious to see animated, bringing some levity into a crazy serious moment. We see down on the ground Shinobu's like, oh my god, what did I do? And a flash to Momo, who's still rising no Onigashima. And he's just like, Luffy is trying to guide him, but he's not looking, so they're gonna crash into the.
At first, he's just taken back by like, what do you mean you're not looking where you're going? Like, open your fucking eyes. What are you doing here? And this causes them to not end up on the roof at first, but smash into the first the performance floor, where everybody's still shit's still going on, and Sanji, King, Queen, Zoro. Kawamatsu, Hyogoro, they're all like Izo. Yeah, Marco. By the way, Marco is loving this shit. He's like, yeah. He looks hot as fuck. Just gonna say, he looks like he's just blasted and like, oh, drag you, man. That's you.
Yeah, Marco's like, at least it's not my goddamn crew getting obliterated this time, so I got no stake in this. He's like, finally, a war I can just kick back and relax. I'm just chilling. I don't gotta shed no tear over nobody here today. But yeah, Momo Dragon, crashing through, and everyone's taken back. They realize immediately it's not Kaido, because it's
Queen.
pink.
Queen does. Queen is like, the hell? It's a different dragon. So because some other people are confused.
Even some other some are like, no, look closer, because they recognize it's not Kaido. It couldn't be Kaido either. So I think that a lot of them pick up on that. But Momo is not looking, not hearing anything, keeps crashing through the buildings. Luffy's like, what are you doing? Trying to hold on for dear life. And Momo's got those dizzy eyes, and then he crashes to the second floor. Goes straight up. We see Big Mom and her fight with Law and Kid. So they're still in it. They're not dead.
Yeah, and so Big Mom is confused. She's like, Kaido, what is happening? And Kid wasn't taken out from that hit he took before when Killer was fighting Hawkins. So I don't know if this has any bearing on how that fight's progressing. Who knows? Maybe Killer has taken the L at this point.
Just so his captain will survive. You think Hawkins would like stab himself just to be a dick or something? I don't know. maybe there's a reason he can't. But anyways, Luffy is just telling Momo to open his eyes already to see where they're going. Momo's just still acting in fear, saying, "Oh, there's something stuck in there."
Open your eyes. I can't. There's shit in it. Well then, that's because you keep smashing into the walls, man.
So, going through the third floor, keep crashing everywhere, and everybody in the castle just, hilariously commenting on it, like, it's a dragon, fucking up everything. You're gonna need a serious new interior decorator after this. They got a lot of work to do on this island.
I don't think Team Decorator is gonna be able to fix any of this. I mean, get to that in a second, but I just want to comment some serious Tex Avery vibes with this, with the Onigashima skull, like there's like bumps protruding, like indicating Kaido, what's his name, Momonosuke is just bouncing into the walls and stuff. It's like that dust cloud in those old Tex Avery cartoons, like Looney Tunes, like when they get in a fight. Yeah. You even do the same motion I did.
The tumbleweed thing, yeah. They have the Looney Tunes built around there.
Very, very, very Scooby Doo. But yeah, they're smashing around in the things, trying to make it to the top, and we get back to the Yamato and Kaido fight, and we see Momonosuke just kind of trotting up in the background,
just dancing, and he's like, "What the hell is that? Am I He's like, am I on drugs?"
Someone should be like, do 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 do.
And then Yamato's noticing his distraction, Kaido's distraction, so she tries to leap in with a divine swiftness attack. Momo is in the air. He's like, I must get back to solid ground.
Coming in with that divine swiftness, yo.
And Luffy points out to Momo, "Oh, there's Kaido," and Momo's back, and he's like, "Kaido, open his eyes and everything."
Yeah, it's interesting. He's scared of heights, but he's not scared of this giant ogre man who killed his father and family and basically ruined the entire country. Getting his anger riled up. He's ready to face him.
Momo's a real man. That's why he faces his enemies head on. He ain't got no. He ain't shook. He ain't shook about that. He's like, "Bring it on. I'm a man now. I ain't a little boy." But Luffy goes to Gear 4 Snake Man, and as Yamato's charging with an attack that looks like it's filled with Conqueror's Haki, he also unleashes attack, Jet Culverin, and Kaido gets that double attack, gets that double whammo, bow, bow, to the face and to the chest.
With the Conqueror Haki's drip, like even off of Luffy's arm, you see the Conqueror's Haki like etched onto it. So
I read this on a smaller screen, so I didn't catch that. I was like, I'm pretty sure he was using Conqueror's Haki at this point, but now that actually definitively gets it for me. So boom. So Luffy has upgraded his Gear 4 stage, at least to incorporate his Conqueror's Haki moves, which is great. So I think the next time he goes into the Kong Gun, Stampede, it'll be a real attack. He won't just get bounced away like little Beat.
I'm pretty sure he used Boundman before he used the Conqueror's Haki on that as well. Or
I think he just fought straight up. I think he fought straight up.
Because he figured out the Conqueror's Haki coding thing afterwards, and he's like, "Oh, you can coach your attacks in Conqueror's Haki, can't you?" But yes, he's actually they didn't even show the transition. When they cut to his panel again, he's back in base mode, and Yamato is super happy to see him. Yamao. Yamao, hey Yamao. But in the fan cancellation, he calls her Yama Bro, which I think actually has more of a nice little ring to it. But
misgendering her, not even calling her Odin. What the fuck?
He's happy that she was holding back Kaido for him, and he's like, "That's great, thanks." And she's like, "Oh, I'm so glad." And then we see Kaido rising up into dragon form yet again.
Hey, what up, motherfucker? How did you survive that? Did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
Did you put your name in the goblet of fire, Luffy? Did you do it?
So how did you survive, Starhead? Who is that dragon? Name yourself. And Luffy's just standing there, cool as a cucumber. Momo's a little taken back, but standing his ground. And Yamato comments, "Oh, it's a pink dragon? Could it be?" And Luffy comments, "Nothing you do is gonna kill me. I'm the man who will be the king of the pirates." and the dragon, and then Momo was like, and my name is Kozuki Momonosuke, the man who will be Shogun of Wano. And yeah, and then Kaido's like, all right, I'm excited for this. Fuck, let's go. So he.
Sorry, really quick. As a side note, when Yamato's observing the situation, she's like, "Oh, pink dragon? Huh? Could it be?" And I don't know if she's like recognizing. She says Momonosuke in the next panel, but this is just because she's recognizing him saying, like, declaring he is Kozuki Momonosuke. But I'm wondering if this is like a prophecy thing, like in the logbook, like she read something about a pink dragon being part of the prophecy or whatever the case might be. But yes, what a surprise, that little boy. But the world doesn't need two dragons.
I don't know. I think the world could use two dragons. I think he's just hating someone else is on his dragon drip, and I ain't with it. But yeah, great chapter. Really, really good action this week, and I'm loving it. I can't. Give me another one. And I don't think we're getting a break next week. So
no, we are getting.
We are? Ah, God, why'd you have to say that?
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I mean, look, man, we got a full month of One Piece, no breaks. So, I mean, it should be that, hey, it's an established manga. There should be a chapter every week. But Oda's getting old. He's tired. He needs his breaks. So
Oda's like 40. He's not even that old.
But he's 20. He's been doing this for 20 years. He's a smoker, and he sleeps like 3 or 4 hours a day. Like, this shit, it just adds up. I mean, it's a whole other discussion. I really wish I could interview somebody who's in the manga making field, mangaka field, and just get a glimpse into, like, what the studio life is like, working in a studio with the editors and stuff, and how that paces out, because I understand it's his project, it's his thing, it's his creation. He wants to draw all the characters, and he's the sole person who does that, and his editors do like background work and shit, like scenery and stuff. But at the same time, it's like, we get it, you're an awesome artist, you don't have to do everything. Like, tell them what you want it to be a supervisor, and do more of a finishing touches kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, if it's something, if it doesn't look the way you want it to look, then polish it up or modify it however. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's a fucking Van Gogh painting. It's it's replicate. Somebody else can replicate this. But whatever. I'm happy that we had 4 weeks of straight One Piece. I'm not gonna complain. And yeah, this was a dope ass chapter.
It was crazy good action. Luffy back in the fray. We can't, get enough of that. Him, matching up head to head with Kaido. We're in it. We are in what seems to be the final end game. All the pieces have been assembled. I don't think Luffy's gonna get knocked away again.
Yeah, it would feel super tedious at that point to have yet another climb back or whatever iteration, whatever form that would take. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, all right, now we have to get him. We have to eat up more time and more chapters. Climbing back up to wherever Kaido is and dealing with that. You know what I mean? Just let's move on. Let's get to the next segment. And one thing I wanted to talk about, want to point out. They talked about, I'm gonna need to get somebody to come and fix this fucking castle. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up right now. Like, and I did say before, I had a vision of Kaido as a dragon, like bursting through the castle and like wrecking shit and like breaking stuff up. But Momonosuke was actually kind of the one to fulfill that role. But there's a lot of structural damage. Like, floors have been broken through. There's multiple fires going on. Like, this place is pretty wrecked. I'm wondering if it's even gonna make it to the to the capital Wano in like one piece, or if it's just gonna be like disintegrating and falling into fragments by the time it makes it over there. To be fair, the island of Onigashima is not just the Skull Dome. There is a solid landmass, so who knows, maybe the landmass itself will be mostly intact by the time it gets over there.
That's kind of a big assumption, because we know of at least 3, maybe 4 people right now on the island who could destroy the whole thing. Like, I think Kaido, Big Mom, and Luffy could wreck Onigashima's like whole thing in a second. And maybe even like the other guys too.
You know what? I'm gonna call it right now. There's gonna be a pair. There's always this big like enemy flying through the sky kind of thing, like Crocodile when he was smashed through the ceiling in that temple when Luffy fought him and he flew through the air and landed in the middle of everybody. When he beat Doflamingo, he fucking punched him like through the floor. Well, he punched him through the floor and then like knocked him into like the subterranean area. Luffy is gonna punch Kaido through the island, and he's gonna land in the center of Wano, and all the citizens will see Kaido beat the fuck up, and that'll be the conclusion. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it's gonna go.
And they got to figure out something to do with the island. I think Momo at that point will be able to like float it down safely. Hopefully, we shall.
This has been pointed out by other people, but they're saying this is probably gonna be a symmetry with how Odin was holding up the scabbards for that hour. That Momonosuke is gonna be holding up the island under some form of duress. I think it was Randy Troy who was talking about this. Great One Piece YouTuber for anybody who's looking for.
Well,
for
I feel it.
people to pick out.
I feel like in this place, wouldn't it be the scabbards who would be holding up the island? You know, like because they got held up. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know how these 9 dudes are gonna hold up the entire island, but I just think it's more logical that Momonosuke, you know,
Especially
he
'cause
has
3 of
the
them are dead.
capabilities. Supposedly, we'll find out.
Well, Kanjuru's definitely gonna die. If he's dead, right? I hope he's dead.
I mean, he's assumed dead. The story says he's dead, but
Right.
who knows?
What's his face? Kinemon took him out, right? Maybe.
Uh,
That was how he got the last slash. Because remember, Kiku was going up against him.
I think it was Kinemon. Yeah, I think Kinemon wrapped that up. But yeah, there's not too much. I mean, the only like heavy point of discussion is the ogre thing, and even that is like there's not a lot to it to really talk about because it's just a little one-liner. You know what I mean? So, you know, I don't know. Maybe there's an ogre race. Maybe there isn't. That's pretty much the extent of how far we can talk about that.
I feel like there might be
yeah.
because like where the hell did the numbers come from? Like I feel like they're kind of like the same-ish, you know?
The numbers came from Punk Hazard. They're synthetically created. But this is the weird thing too. The Beaver card talks about Ha-Chan, the number 8 guy with like the blonde like bowl cut thing going on, and the fucking Russian tracksuit and the Adidas. He is supposedly 180 years old. It says his age is 180, but I don't know that that's necessarily saying he's been around for 180 years old, or he has the biological age, like his body is that of a 180-year-old ancient giant, which I kind of lean towards the latter. Like, because when, you know, Germa has their cloning situation going on, and they're cloning men into like full age. I don't think they're growing them from babies. You know what I mean? So they look to be in their mid-20s or something of that nature. The Germa soldier clones that they were manufacturing. So
It's an interesting point of contention because it really depends on what Oda's view on it is, right? Because if you want to be technical, the days they've been born, you know, like that's one thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
really depends.
Yeah, but it'd be weird if these numbers have been around. Like it says they were created in Punk Hazard, so unless Punk Hazard just has a long ass history of, you know, like being around and, you know, scientists being there working on stuff. You know,
I mean,
which, I don't
could
know.
be
It's
because like
possible.
the island itself, right, wasn't like it's never been accessible. Like you don't get like a log post doesn't go to it, so I could see how, you know, that's always attracted like certain research and stuff. People want to know like how significant that is in the Grand Line where you have to get by everything, you know, via, you know, the log post. So what does it mean when this one island doesn't register? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't recall if it's like that because of Aokuji and Akainu's fight. You know, I'm thinking maybe their battle like messed up the weather or whatever it is. Something about the island that.
I mean, because they
allows
literally
them-
broke the island. It no longer has a,
Yeah.
a maybe. It's an interesting point.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that's kind of it for the chapter. It was an action chapter, so
Yeah, not a lot to summarize. Just a lot of good stuff. Momo bursting through the castles is going to be hilarious to see. I'm looking forward to that. And then I caught that him sneaking past, you know, when Yamato was like, "I'm not done yet." That's the, he's like, "What the f- is that a dragon?" I'm the only dragon here. What the hell?
How hard did Yamato hit me? Jesus.
I felt that was a regular punch. What the heck? Get it together, Kaido. You're seeing things.
Yeah. Yeah, cool chapter. So let's get into the chapter grade. Chapter grade. Do you want to go first or want me to go first?
I'll go first. I would say that this is like A minus, B plus, but I'm gonna give it an A minus just because solid action, great laughs, solid, through and through. And here's the thing for me, like it always felt like it was too short, which to me means like you just wanted more. You were really engrossed and you just want more and more. So great chapter, solid action. Momo, crashing through everything was hilarious. Luffy punching the crap out of Kaido, awesome. I can't wait to see that animated. It's gonna be great. So yeah, good chapter, good stuff.
Yes, I love the fighting between Kaido and Yamato, especially when he was beating the shit out of her, like, "You're the son of an ogre," like that.
You had no friends. God.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of thought as he's just a horrible father and a fucked up dad. But I mean, if they're from an ogre species, maybe the way how rough he is with Yamato is within parameters of what an ogre could handle, not just a regular human being. So, I mean, he's still fucked up. He's still evil and cruel and shit. But
it seems like ogres need food though, and that's just a dick move.
Yeah. So, but he lives they live a harder life. I always kind of had this headcanon, I mean, to me, Kaido kind of looks like the dude from Mulan. Shan Sui or whatever his name was, the villain. I thought he was supposed to be Genghis Khan in the movie, but apparently not. But he's still Mongolian, and
I think he's supposed to be based off it. I think that's the idea, is that he's the inspiration, right?
Yeah, and I kind of I'm wondering if this Mongolian vibe thing, culture is gonna play in with Kaido, like he's from a warrior people. And they have those strict warrior values, and there's no room for fucking around. He was raised a certain way, and to him this is normal. This is how he was raised, and how you cut the weak from the strong, Spartan mentality. You know what I mean? Throw the deformed babies by the wayside, kind of situation. So
who knows? Maybe he's just a super asshole. Maybe his race is actually really really nice. They're really maturing, and he's just god awful. Imagine it's just the other way around. Oh no, ogres are nice. We're super cuddly with our kid. You beat your child. What the fuck is wrong with you? Damn, God, that's why we abandoned you. No, I'm kidding.
Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. We're supposed to be talking about chapter grade. But yeah, I will give this chapter 8.5. Maybe an 8.7 just because of how dope the fighting was. But like I said, there wasn't a lot to it. It was just some fighting here and there, and I think we have cool things on the horizon. Plus, I'm not to say that this chapter was a letdown by any stretch, but considering this was the last chapter that was gonna be in a row with the whole color, the big color spread montage thing that they've been doing, which is out by the way. They released the third page. You don't see it on the Viz thing, but it's floating around out there. So the whole collage is finally pieced together. But considering this was the last chapter of that segment, I want to say I kind of thought it would be more impactful. There was some crazy shit to kind of tie all this shit together. And I guess
Luffy punching Kaido and landing a solid blow in Snake Man mode is I would say it's significant. Although again, Kaido gets back up to shit talk.
Yeah, and also I don't like seeing Kaido go into dragon form because it doesn't accomplish anything. It's more of a nuisance than anything. He's just a bigger target, and the fight doesn't get serious until he goes into his human form or his hybrid form.
Well, he's probably going to try and bite Momo's head off or something. His dragon, which would be freaking crazy. But we'll see. I wonder if Momo's would be able to do any damage on him.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Maybe we're gonna get like cool like aerial battles. Like they're gonna be circling around each other, and Kaido's gonna try to bite him, or Luffy will jump in, give him a punch. Yamato will uppercut him. Momonosuke will bite him, and it's gonna be crazy, just all over all over the place kind of shit. And this, if anything, him being in dragon form right now is a way to stretch out this fight while the other smaller fights get resolved. The king and queen situation, because I don't think he's not gonna beat Kaido before all the other things are wrapped up. You know what I mean? It'd be kind of weird.
Be out of the norm of One Piece. Yeah, it's like, king and queen are like, what do we do now? Zoro and Sanji are like, this isn't how we do things, Luffy. Come on, like the order. We've done this a million times. Pick him up. Let's go.
But yeah, 8.7. I'll be a little generous. And you said A minus.
Yeah, so I'll give it like a 9.1. Yeah, 9.1 for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to the next part. We have the MVP.
MVP, yeah.
MVP, yeah. Who do you got this week? Who's your MVP?
I want to give it to Kaido. He kind of set the pace, even though he took the attacks. He got hit a bunch of times. However, he still doesn't seem particularly phased, and still people are just kind of like playing catch up with him. You know what I mean? And he's still going after the Scabbards, after the Supernova Alliance, after Luffy one-on-one, after Yamato. Now now Luffy's back, and it's like he's still going fucking Energizer Bunny status over here. But yeah, I think I'm pretty solidly gonna give it to Kaido. He's dominating.
I'm gonna give it to the other dragon this week. Hilarious. But I'm giving it to Momonosuke. Yes. Jumping around, flying through the castle, providing us a hilarious moments, flying without your eyes closed, even though you're a giant dragon. Absolutely hysterical. And we get to see all the castle, and then him, like standing up. He's like, "Oh, Kaido's here, my enemy. Oh, it's real. It's I ain't got no time for no eye closing now." But him, boldly declaring who he was in front of Kaido's face, dragon to dragon, was pretty impressive. So for me, Momonosuke, you are my MVP this week.
Yeah, man. I get it. I get your point of view. I would say he definitely made strides this chapter. He had growth. He's facing his fears and he's moving forward. And him like having that moment of recognition, like you said, with the whole like Kaido thing. He opens his eyes. It's helping him focus himself and not be too distracted by whatever fears and issues he has. But yeah, I think we haven't quite seen what's in his bag. I think he has more in his reserves, and I think when he becomes the MVP in a future chapter, it'll be very definitive. I don't think there'll be any debate as to like, okay, Momonosuke, he pulled his weight. He pulled his weight this chapter.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like he definitely did. I feel like he gave us all the great moments for the chapter. I think he was the main focus. But not hating on Kaido's selection either. Him beating the crap out of Yamato was pretty funny. So yeah.
Yeah. And now we can get into our predictions. Predictions.
Ooh,
so
this is actually really hard this week. I feel like it's pretty tough because all the pieces are set. Now it's like, okay, this is the story time telling mode.
I think there's a high probability of getting a very small fight wrapped up. Small fight relative to all the other fights that are going on.
The ninja fights, the killer kid. The killer fight,
the Killer Hawkins fight.
Yeah, whatever Appo's doing. Who is Appo fighting?
And Appo is dealing with Drake. Last time I recall, like they were dealing with each other. So Drake has been out of circulation for a minute. He's just kind of
for a cool dinosaur man. He really got left behind the fray.
Yeah, he needs to contribute something more. Immediately to gain some more relevancy.
Eating Appo, I think, would be a pretty good way to do that. Just saying.
X-Drake and Appo, and I'm even gonna say Jack and Inu, or Perospero and Neko. Those are the 5 smaller fights. Even though Jack is a big boy, he's a significant guy. relative to the Kaido and Luffy, King and Queen, and Zoro and Sanji. I think those are a different tier. So if anything, I mean, I think the Raizo fight should get wrapped up soon. Can't say with any certainty, but here we are. I want to say a hard prediction that we will get something of Luffy versus Kaido with the various people who are there as well. So yeah.
I think we're gonna be focused more on the live floor action stuff. Maybe we're gonna get some cool moments with. I don't think it's gonna be like final moments, but like I think we're gonna get some action between King and Queen and Zoro and Sanji. Maybe even seeing Sanji put on his raid suit and get another upgrade, and like Zoro looking badass. I think we're due for a moment of them. But yeah, I also think we're gonna be focusing more on the little fights and possibly even on what Orochi is doing. I feel like he's about to make a comeback for some reason. He's slowly climbing his way back in. That Hydra man.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna be a half and half. I think it's gonna be half Luffy Kaido action and a half various other assortments. And I'm trying to think what would be the most logical arrangement if the Luffy half would go first, or if they'd wrap up the chapter with the Luffy stuff. I'm gonna say they're gonna start. Yeah. I think they're gonna start the chapter. They're gonna open the chapter with Luffy stuff next chapter. And then it'll be kind of like a little cliffhanger. Like it's gonna be like, okay, the fight's not going in any. It's not tipping to one side or the other at this point, so it's safe to transition to somebody else and understand that this fight is still going to continue in the background whilst other things are going on. But yeah, that is what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, man. Those are my predictions as well. No, I can't wait. I wish there was not another break going on next week, but Oda, get your rest. Get 6 hours of sleep this week, please. For the love of God. Because we need you, and that's not healthy.
For real. All right, guys. I guess that's all we got to say for this chapter. Hope you enjoyed as much as we did. And, if you want to help us out, please hit that like and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. It's super free, and it can help us move forward with our ambitions. So help us out, por favor.
See. And also give us a follow on Journey to Laughtale. Instagram content coming soon.
Word, son. Alright, guys, I have been Log Zero.
It's been Rev.
And we'll see you next time.
Peace.